What's up? How's it going today? So today I want to talk about abs, okay? Abdominals, all right? The six pack, the eight pack, the 12 pack, whatever you want to call it. This is a pretty important topic. Well, I wouldn't say important. Like I just get asked about this a whole lot, so I think you guys find it important. Um, but talking about abs is pretty crucial for most people. So let me just say this. I think a lot of ab training is just stupid. I'm just going to put it out there. There are very few reasons and very few things that I actually train the abs for. So it really comes down to what your goal is, right? So if you have some sort of abdominal strength deficiency, then that's a whole different matter, okay? If you're training to get leaner or to lower your waist size or to lose belly fat, training your abdominals is pretty pointless, okay? So if you have lower back pain, training your abdominals can be awesome. If you have some sort of herniated discs or sciatica or pain in your upper buttocks, hamstrings area, like yes, ab training can actually correct the muscle imbalance that is causing those pains, because normally those pains, say your lower back, your back muscles and your hamstring muscles are too tight. So we want to do abdominal training to take the load off the back and put it back on the abdominals where it belongs, so your body's actually balanced and you can function properly. Okay, so that's pretty much the only reason I really advocate ab training. The only second reason is if you can see your abs. If you can see your abdominals, like you can literally see it without having to get in the perfect lighting and fast for 3 days. Like if you can just see your abs, then yeah, you probably need to train them because they probably are imbalanced. You can probably see the imbalances, like your right side is weaker than your left side, or your uppers are smaller than your lowers, or your lowers aren't quite as defined as your uppers. Like then that's what abs work for. But for the common person that is trying to get lean, okay, and is trying to make their waist smaller, ab work is stupid for the most part. Okay, think about abs as a muscle. They are a muscle. Okay, so if you're trying to get leaner, if you're trying to lose belly fat, and you're training the belly muscle, what you're doing when you train a muscle is you're making that muscle larger, right? You're making that muscle bigger, thicker, right? So you're trying to slim down your waistline, but then you're training this muscle to get bigger and larger and stronger. So it's just making you look fatter. Okay, that's literally what ab training. So I hate the people that do 1,000 crunches in the gym every day and like, yo, I'm training my abs, I'm gonna get a six pack. No, you're not. Six packs are made during nutrition, not during workouts. Okay, like you get to see your six pack when your nutrition is awesome and you lower your body fat. Then your six pack will stick out, not when you train abs all the freaking time. Stop trying to train abs all the freaking time. It's not helping you. Okay, when you do crunches and planks, like one of the stupidest things I see guys do is that abdominal workout. I'm like, or the oblique abdominal workout. I'm like, why the hell are you doing that? And they're like, oh, I gotta train my obliques, Like, no, you're making your waist wider because the obliques just sit on the side of your abs. And so when you train that muscle, it gets bigger and it gets wider and it makes you look fatter, okay? It's not helping you whatsoever. If you are doing dumbbell training and barbell training and cable training and body weight training and you're doing these things, your abs are getting a lot of work just working out these exercises, right? Like when we program for people, we don't put in a whole lot of abdominal work. Just because you get a lot of abdominal work, if you're doing exercises correctly, you are strengthening your abdominals. You don't need a whole bunch of extra training to do it on top of it, okay? One of the only ab trainings I actually do is called TVA suctions, transverse abdominis suctions. There's a muscle that sits around your stomach that is basically looks like a weight belt, and it's a big muscle, and it has different connection points, but basically its job is to hold all your internal organs nice and tight and in place. Okay, it stabilizes your spine, it stabilizes your rib cage, and holds all your organs nice and tight, right? And so I do suctions with that, basically sucking in your gut really hard and holding it, right, and breathing in your chest, and it's sucking in your gut underneath your ribs. If you've ever seen bodybuilders, they do this a lot when they're on stage. They suck it in really hard, and it makes them look really, really skinny for a short period of time. But it's a really cool muscle to train all the time because it makes you look actually skinnier when that muscle is really toned and in shape. It actually is tense a lot, and so it actually makes you look a lot skinnier, holds your organs nice and tight, gives your back a lot of nice support. And so that's a really good muscle to train. That's one of the only ab workouts I do on a regular basis. Other than that, I really, I do a lot of free weight movements. I do a lot of dumbbell movements. And anytime I'm doing a movement where I'm standing up or I'm sitting on a bench or anything like that, I am using my abdominals and they're getting work. So I don't need to do a whole bunch of extra work for them. What I need to do is eat food correctly so my waistline slims down and I don't carry as much fat around my waist. And so I can actually see all the great work that my abdominals have done. Even if you feel like your belly is loose or your belly has extra skin on it or something like that, doing a lot of abdominal work is not going to correct that. Okay, doing correct nutrition is going to help that. Losing body fat is going to help that, but doing a whole bunch of abdominal work is not going to help that, right? The only time I really advocate a whole lot of abdominal work is when somebody has some severe lower back pain, and it's because of their lack of strong abdominals and their lower back is getting way too much pressure put on it. That's when I usually say, hey, abdominal work is important, or when somebody has just a lack of abdominal strength, like they can't do one sit-up. I'm like, hey, maybe we need to do a couple abdominal exercises. And when I say a couple abdominal exercises, I don't think people understand, I'm saying some really easy stuff. So like slow, controlled crunches, where you actually crunch up, breathe out, hold it, squeeze it, come down, rest, breathe, come up, crunch it, hold it, squeeze it, come down, rest, breathe, right? Like that's abdominal work. That not knocking out 1,000 at once. It's stupid. You need to actually find the muscle, contract the muscle, actually make the muscle burn, make the muscle hurt, okay, grow that muscle. And that way that muscle actually develops instead of you doing it really fast and really hard and doing 1,000 of them. And you ended up using your lower back and your hip flexors and your intercostal muscles and all that kind of stuff, like your serratus, all those things, and you're not really using your abs, right? So we want to make sure that you're actually using your abs, you're actually contracting the correct muscles, you're doing it slow, you're doing it controlled, and we're actually seeing growth of the abdominal muscle tissue, not just all the other surrounding muscles that are already over dominant anyway and causing you to have weak abdominals in the first place, right? So we need to do it correctly, not just do it to do it, right? Like, and ab work doesn't burn a whole lot of fat, guys. Like they're like, yeah, you can train them a lot, but they don't burn a lot of fat. It makes a lot more sense to do powerful upper body and lower body and full body movements to burn a lot of fat, and actually use a whole bunch of muscle tissue at once, compound movements to burn a bunch of fat, if that's what you're going for. If you can see your abs and you're wanting certain ab works to bring out certain areas of your abs, like I'll work with you, I'll help you out, I'll give you some tips on that like message me. I'd love to help you out. But those people are few and far between, from what I understand, of who my audience is and who's watching this. So, like if that's you, I will love to help you. I've done that for myself. I've done that for other guys that are getting ready for competitions and or doing modeling and stuff like that. So like we could do that. I know some great exercises to help you out on your abs, but unless you can see them, you really shouldn't train them a lot. You should do all your other exercises that are actually burning a lot more fat. They're actually benefiting your body a lot more. And doing those, and your abs are getting that secondary work every day, all day long, that you're doing exercises, instead of feeling like you need a whole separate time to train them. So yeah, that's abs in a nutshell. If you have any specific questions you want to ask me, you can comment on this video. I would love to help you out. I'm going to leave a link with this video to check out my fitness and nutrition blog, where I dive deep into context of different fitness, different nutrition topics, different supplement topics, and different just motivational topics. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to leave the link down in the comment section, and I will talk to you later. Adios, guys.